Welcome back, geometry students. We're going to be looking at problem number 2 from our study guide. Okay, so number 2 asks us, what is the area of triangle ABC? Triangle ABC. Okay, so if you focus on triangle ABC, that's the giant overall triangle. So I know you haven't been in seventh grade or sixth grade or even elementary school in a long time, but what is the formula for the area of a triangle? Hopefully, you get to think back really hard to those long ago grades and ask yourself, what is the area of a triangle? Your answer to that question should be the area of a triangle is equal to 1/2 base times height. Okay, so we need to know the distance from here to here, and we need to know what the height is. So that's from here to there. So H is the line that's shared between both triangles. Okay, so first of all, I know that this big triangle ABC is being split perfectly in half. So this side is 17 and this side is also 17. Now I share 60 degrees here, 60 degrees here, 90 degrees there, and also 90 degrees on the other side. They're a reflection of each other, right? So I have to find this side X in order to be able to find this longer distance AB. Okay? So how am I going to do that? Well, luckily for us, we have three potential three potential trigonometric ratios we can use. We have sine of X, or sine of theta, sorry, we should get used to seeing theta. Sine of theta is equal to the opposite over the hypotenuse. Cosine of theta, let me just do it over here on this side. Cosine of theta is adjacent over hypotenuse. And then the last one is tangent of theta, which is opposite over adjacent. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and label my three sides of this triangle here. So the 17 would be the hypotenuse. How do I know that this is the hypotenuse? Well, if the right angle, if this little box is here, then the side across from it is the hypotenuse. If my reference angle is 60, which in this case it is, the opposite side of that 60 would be this side H, and H would be my opposite. Okay? So that leaves X being my ADJ. Okay? Let me erase these arrows real quick. I need as much space as I can. Alright, so I need to figure out H and X. So I was given the hypotenuse at 17. I have the H, I have the ADJ. Which one do I want to solve for first? Well, since part of my formula uses H, I can figure H out pretty quickly by using either sine, and that's because it has the opposite over the hypotenuse, or I can use tangent because it has the opposite over the adjacent. However, I don't think I can use tangents because the adjacent is a variable and the opposite is a variable. So tangent is out of the question. So I'm gonna have to use sine. So I'm gonna go ahead and say sine of 60 degrees is equal to opposite, which is H, over the hypotenuse, which is 17. All right, so now my question is, where is the variable? Remember that song, Get Tricky With It? It says, if the variable is up high, you have to multiply. Well, the variable is up high, so we have to say H is equal to 17 times the sine of 60 degrees. Luckily for us, we have a handy dandy calculator on our phones. Sorry, Apple users, your calculator cannot handle sine, cosine, and tangent. So you should be using the calculator in class. So sine of 60 degrees, boom. I get that the height of the triangle H is equal to 14.72. We're rounding to 2 decimal places. I'm keeping it at 7.2. Okay, so that's H. Now to find my base, I want to find my base. I got to find the value of X first. Now, since, well, you know what? I'll just save it for now. Since I want to find X, I have to find the adjacent, and I was given the hypotenuse. That means I'm no longer going to be using sine. I'm going to go ahead and use cosine. I'm going to use cosine. So if I'm using cosine, I'm going to go ahead and say cosine of 60 degrees is equal to the adjacent, which is X over 17. There you go. So am I going to multiply or divide? Remember, if the variable is up high, you have to multiply, right? So I get that X is equal to 17 times the cosine of 60 degrees. Okay. Again, I type that in my trusty handy dandy calculator, and I get 17 times the cosine of 60 degrees. I'm going to go ahead and let you pause this video. Calculate it on your own. 17 times the cosine of 60 degrees. Did you find it already? I'm going to go ahead and tell you that X is equal to 8.5. Okay, so I found X, I found H, but now I need to know this value of AB. Remember I told you that both triangles are the same, that they're just a reflection of each other? Well, if X is half of the length, then the other half has to also be the same length as X. So both of them are X. So that tells me that AB is equal to 8.5 plus 8.5, which is 17, right? 8.5 plus 8.5 is 17. Double check that on your calculators. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. I don't think I ever make mistakes. I'm just kidding. I always make mistakes, right? So AB is 17. Now I have both of my components for my area formula. I have the height and I have the base, which was 17. So now I'm going to go ahead, find the area. Area is equal to 1/2. The base is 17 times the height, which is 14.72. That's a 4. The area is equal to, well, let's type that into our calculators. So that's 0.5 times 17 times 14.72. Our area is 125.12, and we're going to go ahead and say, since it's an area, we're going to say units squared. Okay, that is our final answer. Okay, 125.12 units. Now this was a bit of a lengthy video because it had multiple steps, but hopefully it was clear enough so that you were able to understand. If not, slow the video down, rewind, pause, do what you have to do. Try to see if you can understand what's going on. But if not, you can raise your hand and ask me a question, okay? See you in the next video.